Hey everyone, my name is Griffin DeLong. I am a resident in Knoxville, Tennessee. Grew up in East Tennessee my entire life. The video you're about to watch was something that if you would ask me a week ago, I would have told you I didn't even think I'd be putting it out. But I've been contacted by a volunteer at the Sentinel Foundation last week. Needed a videographer to try to capture some of this stuff for their foundation. With the operation that they have for the disaster that transpired from Hurricane Helene. And, I'd prayed earlier in the week that God, I wanted to just be used in whatever way that I could be to help, whether that being able to serve my hands, whatever. So, I didn't hesitate and I took the call and I got up there not knowing anything about the Sentinel Foundation or what was transpiring up there. Like many of you guys, I get my information from the news and hit a point, over the past week where I just haven't been seeing anything, knowing the real ramifications of what transpired up there. In East Tennessee and western parts of North Carolina, you never expect that a hurricane is going to impact or affect your life. And to see getting up there, what has transpired with the Sentinel Foundation and what they're doing up there, they've collectively became, from what I've been told and what I've seen, the largest private foundation and organization running in Western Carolina and East Tennessee, in a lot of the rural areas which they're operating up towards Banner Elk and Elk River and Spruce Pines. There's not government aid. There's no there's not, just because they're rural areas and they're places that a lot of them can't be reached. And to see these military special forces, volunteers, first responders come in and doing what they're doing at this airstrip and in this region, they're creating a lifeline and they're creating a way for people to connect. But the reality of it is, as many people know, in this region of East Appalachia and East Tennessee and Western North Carolina, these people are built different. They are self-reliant. They are more than capable to be able to help one another and build back. But the ramifications from this storm, I don't think has truly been documented and seen. And that was never my intention to be able to do any of this. But like many of you, I wanted to be able to see firsthand of the travesties and then what is at hand right now. And to see the collectivism and the inspiration and the selflessness and the service hearts of these individuals. Hopefully this can show you what is going on and transpiring. And if I could say just one thing about the Sentinel Foundation and what these people are doing up there, it gives me hope. It gives me hope to see Americans coming together and doing what they do. We have good people in this world, people that are God-fearing and loving and compassionate. And for people watching this, I hope it gives you hope. And I hope it gives you a painted picture of the realities of what we're facing right now. And that's, God tells us to seek the truth, and hopefully this can give people insight about just the real tragedies and the disasters that have come from this. And I hope that you watching this will be able to help move things forward and help these people get back onto their feet, help them rebuild their homes, help them get back to the lifestyle which they had. If you have any other questions or any other things that you want to be able to figure out or find out, please contact the Sentinel Foundation. Thank you.
assessing what happened. And by that Monday, we were doing air traffic, had 40, 50 coming in at a time. We're used to 4 or 5 in a week is extremely busy to us. So y'all coming up here was amazing.
When the original group came up here, did they start up at the hangar and then just?
Yeah, they took over air traffic, and we didn't have taxi lines, anything like that set up, and they came in and showed us how it was done.
Wow.
That Tuesday 40, Wednesday it was a little over 50. We had 70 that Thursday, Friday, Saturday apiece.
So you usually average like 3 or 4 a week?
Yeah, and it's the same 3 or 4 planes, members flying in and out. So we were very unequipped.
And they're telling me that these people are just flying in citizens. It's just like from all over the country.
Yeah. If it wasn't for people, just out of the kindness of their hearts helping, we wouldn't. I don't think we would have made it, honestly.
My name's Scotty Clay. I'm 5th generation Texan, originally from Austin, Texas, and then lived around Gatesville for about 2.5 years. And more currently, I've moved up to Arkansas, living in the Ozarks. Well, it's not close to any city. It's close to Table Rock Lake at the Arkansas-Missouri border. And I heard there were some military guys down here at the airport, and I thought, we'd come down here and check it out, see if we can do anything different, up there. And once I got down here and I saw the operation going on here, it's amazing. I mean,
go into that, talking about the operation. Like, what is it like?
Well, they make a symphony out of chaos, and that's what you have here. If you have 150 to 200 plus aircraft going in and out every day, 100 plus vehicles every day coming in and out, and we had one hangar to work with originally. We filled that hangar up 3 to 4 times a day and emptied it 3 to 4 times a day. And they made that flow just smooth as a well-oiled machine. They are so impressive in what they do. That's not their main focus, but it's one of the things that they do focus on, is to help communities like this after any kind of disaster. And it may not be their niche, but they are amazing at what they do.
They got a way of just figuring things out and getting people
and making it work. And if there's things that need to change, whatever, they can do it on the fly and shift gears another way or another way or another way, or acquire things, or we help them acquire things. And it's just a symphony in chaos. Like I said, it's just amazing, and it's something to be a part of. And the people here all work well together. They do it with a very loose chain of management, and we know what our duties, our tasks are that we need to do, and it all flows well. Everybody works well. Most people are retired military, and there's active military in here too. There's a good mix of both, and I mean from every branch of the military, everything you can think of. There's also some civilians here too, and there's local police, fire, and EMS that come through and assist now and then as well. And together we make it happen. This is a grassroots effort. This came from the core of our citizenry and the military, and it makes it work. Unfortunately, we've not had any expected help that we thought was going to be here from anything government oriented, state or federal. It's just non-existent. So everything that you hear, the helicopters that you hear, the planes that you hear, they're either they're private individuals or companies, and they either get donations for their fuel or they pay for the fuel out of their own pocket. So great Americans coming to help the people here that have been devastated. I saw Hurricane Rita years ago. I went to Beaumont and Winnie, Texas after that hit, and that just looks like a dust storm compared to what happened here. This looks like a war zone. It looks like a third world country, and I'm not talking about just here. It's worse even further south than it is here, and it's really bad here. I mean, we've had people that are separated from any way of getting out of the community. Where we went to this morning, the church there, we've been taking supplies in there for some time and having to take it across with a boat or something like that to get the supplies across the river when it was higher. And they have no access to anything. Their bridge was washed away, and they're just cut off from anything. So we keep them supplied with all their necessities, including generators, fuel, food, water, anything else they need, medical supplies, medical help. We get that to them. It's all volunteer groups or 501c3s, including the medical side of it, and they have been nothing but phenomenal. They have.
I'm Bob Harris, and I'm really acting as the face of the Property Owners Association, which owns the airport here and is allowing both Sentinel Foundation as well as E3 and the military to use it to bring in supplies which then go out to the community. We're not a distribution point to individuals, although individuals end up here at times getting things. What we try to do is distribute to the city, which is running a fantastic operation as far as handing it out and getting it out to people. And then we distribute out to everybody else in the county and even outside the county. We've got all kinds of, just about anything you could need to rebuild your household here, short of bricks and mortar and plywood and lumber. But everything else we have here. And people have been wonderful in what they've been bringing in. Meanwhile, the military side of this is running the ops to go out and do recon originally and then recovery efforts, as well as helping to analyze the bridges that are being, make sure they're structurally sound when the big heavy equipment starts coming in. You don't always know what's coming in. You can get a load and you think it's one thing and it turns out to be all dog and cat food, which is great because we need it all. This all started literally 2 or 3 days after the storm hit when Sentinel got here. And they're the masters of NE3 of immediate coverage of disasters. We've got an entire medical section, which is quite impressive. As somebody said, we probably have more supplies than the average CVS store. Try to keep things organized, but right now, because of everything that came in so late last night, we're now in the process of reorganizing. Samaritan's Purse will be here shortly. They usually bring in 25 people who can help organize and sort. And clothing sorting is one of the biggest things. We're trying to get out of that business because there's so much clothing in the area. We really can't handle any more, nor can any of the churches or any of the other groups that we know of. Right now, everybody's just full of clothes and can't take it. So come on back, I'll show you the medical side.
I'm Joanna Reed. I'm a PA from Lumberton, North Carolina. Been here since Wednesday. We have gotten a huge amount of supplies in, and our primary role here has just been organizing and getting everything ready and packed up to try to get it out of the warehouse and into the hands of people that need it.
We've also had like medics and different people going out in the field, so we've packed, bags for them to take with them, EpiPens, OTCs. Sometimes there's specific requests like albuterol inhalers or whatever. And there's been a generous donation of prescription meds too.
Yeah,
so
and we've set up a pharmacy to get those things organized so we can get them out to people that are requesting.
We can make our way to that part. This was just something that came last night. It's a lot of distilled water. This is where we kind of had like the bags we were just talking about. So like when the medics or anybody goes out on the ground, they don't know what they're going into. EpiPens because the bees like swarming and getting
stung.
Yeah, and then a bunch of OTCs. At one time there was a huge request for liquid Benadryl because the bees were just rampant, getting stirred up, and they, pills weren't working fast enough. They were just so anyway. This is first aid kits. Grab, ready to go.
This is our pharmacy for prescription meds. We have cardiac meds, antibiotics, and just trying to get them really organized so they're ready to go. probably to a hospital that's, I guess, had trouble getting supplies in. So we're hoping to replace some of those things for them today. And then back here is over-the-counter drugs, a lot of wound care supplies, insulin. We've gotten a generous donation of insulin, so we got refrigerators and have got it all organized there. And the real goal, like I said, is just to get it out to people that need it today. We're getting requests from people that can't get out, and then, like I said, hospitals that aren't getting supplies in. So we've been busy.
Just to give you an idea of the Ops Center with all their maps and all the things they're working on. It's a pretty impressive operation. These guys go from 7 in the morning all the way up to 8 o'clock at night, and it seems to be nonstop as far as all the maps they're constantly working on.
My name is Stephen Petrus. I am from Columbia, South Carolina, and part of the 245th Combat Airfield Operations Squadron. And we are here as landing zone safety officers trying to manage and help aircraft come in safely to bring in supplies to Banner Elk. We go in and we set up landing zones and in non-permissive environments, even though there is a runway already, but just trying to manage the large amounts of aircraft that are coming in that they're not used to.
So what have you been able to see working and doing all this, just seeing the civilians and all the different walks of life being flying into this airstrip?
We're seeing a great support from civilians coming in, bringing supplies. We don't really know where they're coming from, but working with Sentinel, I'm sure they're the ones coordinating all that, getting everything in here. And we're just trying to make sure that they can get in here safely without hitting each other or vehicles on the runway. There's just not a lot of area around here. Like typically we could go into some place and set up an airstrip, but there's just not the area for it. So them allowing us to come in here and control it and really bring in all this support and relief is amazing. The civilian and the community coming together. I don't think it matters where you come from as long as everybody is coming together to help. And that's what we're seeing here is just everybody. It doesn't matter what background you have, what entity you're with, they're all about trying to help and get stuff. Us as Guard members, we have 2 of us here, we've been welcomed with open arms.
State your name and then where you're from.
My name is Dan Munson. I live in Seneca, South Carolina, and I fly out of both Clemson and Anderson, South Carolina. This Navajo is fairly new to me within the last year, but it can carry 2,500 pounds of useful load, which is a lot, and that's why I got it, so I could carry a lot of payload. So we loaded this one up down in Pickens with about 1,000 pounds worth of cargo to deliver here. First time I've been here to Elk River. Wasn't I didn't guess about the steep terrain and the steep approach coming in, so it was a unique landing. It'll be a real unique takeoff to clear all these hills, but we're up for it.
How have you been able, with the hurricane relief, have you been coming and flying around different parts and bringing in? Yeah,
we've flown close to a dozen missions now, mainly out of Anderson, South Carolina. We've gone to Morgantown, we've gone to Ash, we've gone to actually Silva, and now here to Elk River.
Wow. So who are you working with?
I'm a flight instructor. I just own this airplane for family travel. This is not a business or corporate airplane. It's just you got to do your part, and I have a heavy hauling airplane. Why not use it?
It's amazing to see how everybody's been able to just seeing all these different private citizens coming in and using their resources to be able to do what they're doing with the helicopters and with the airplanes and being able to do all that. And
I've noticed in the places we've dropped off, there's huge grassroots efforts and just people just rising up from all over, giving a helping hand. There's no particular type of general oversight over everything, but everybody's doing their stuff to get things done. And I noticed that some of these main airports now are fully stocked, and now some of the more backcountry airports are needing the stocks. Now we just got to get it from the last mile from these distribution centers out to where the need is.
My name's Tammy Gates. I'm from Banner Elk, North Carolina.
So, Tammy, I know you said you didn't necessarily have a specific role here, but what have you been helping out with here?
Well, when I came in, deliveries were coming in nonstop, which is what we need. The problem is we didn't have enough volunteers and enough hands, and nothing was really organized. And even if it got organized, by the next day it was unorganized because there just weren't enough volunteers and people to take the intake that was coming in. I would highly recommend, I mean, we're in an area where we never thought that this was going to happen. This is, we're in the mountains. We stay away from the coast because we don't want to deal with hurricanes. You silly people that live on the coast, you deal with hurricanes. But now here we are dealing with major weather, major hurricanes, things we never expected, which means it can happen to anybody. So a lot of these people, even if they had to leave their homes, and some of them didn't make it out of their home, they didn't know what to take. Do you have somewhere where you can grab your personal documents? Do you have a bag packed? Do you have a bug out bag? Not because you have to flee to the mountains, but you may just need to flee your home. We have so many people now that are homeless, that are living in hotels or with other people, and some people that just have holes in their houses or don't know what to do. But having that spare change of clothes, having that necessity bag packed, and then having a place where you can grab your personal documents and throw them in, I think that's integral for anybody anywhere in the world, just to have that safety net, because you don't know what's going to happen at any given day.
None of this is paid. Nothing here is paid for, really. It's all volunteer. It's one of the biggest, I'm told it's one of the biggest volunteer operations going on anywhere in the state.
Wow. So most of this is, like you said, the citizen space, and then obviously this being private property, then it allows for this organization to operate
Right.
freely?
Yes. There is no FAA controlling anything here at the airport. So it's just all volunteer. I mean, all this equipment you see around here is all loaned to us. And skid steer right there, very expensive piece of equipment. It's on loan. People bring in these bags, or all the things are packed in, have been gifted to us. It's just an amazing operation, and people know it because they don't see. FEMA's not in this area yet. We haven't seen anybody else. We have some National Guard here now, and that will ramp up as the volunteer side goes down. That's a natural transition into these things, and be more involved with local and state agencies now. Will start coming in about a week.
Have you seen anything like this before, and just seeing the amount of people come together and just have God's been able to work within all of it?
No, I've lived in Florida my entire life, been through a lot of hurricanes and volunteered time before, but I've never seen it where the state and federal government wasn't more involved, and this is just a private operation.
Is there anything else that you'd want to get on, stay, or specify to people that may not know?
No, I just thank everybody. These gifts have come from everywhere, and now there's money flowing in also. I know Sentinel, but both the city, there's a Helping Hands organization here called Elk River Helping Hands, which is a not-for-profit. The city of Banner Elk is tied in with Elk River Helping Hands. Elk River is the name of this community where the airport sits, and it's owned by the property owners of Elk River. And then we have a clubhouse and golf course and everything else down here. But all that's kind of right now taking second fiddle to taking care of our neighbors. This is all about taking care of neighbors. It's not about taking care of anybody at Elk River. It's just here to help the community because we have a lot of people who were just devastated. A lot of people's lives lost, a lot of people's houses washed away. It's a life-changing type of thing.